Right now in Stuttgart, Germany, you can easily buy tickets to watch the world's top 5 tennis players compete. You can go straight to the ticket counter and choose your seats to watch Grand Slam champions compete on clay. But if you want to see a 20-year-old player from Southeast Asia play a simple first-round match, you'll have to pay a much higher price than usual. What mainstream media completely overlooks right now is that Alex Eala is more than just an athlete. She is single-handedly reshaping the entire economics of the WTA Tour. Top superstars are not the ones crashing German ticket websites this week. The arrival of 20-year-old Alex Eala has ignited an unprecedented fever that is pushing black market ticket prices to absolutely unimaginable levels. It is a complete financial anomaly. Today, I am going to expose the real truth behind the Alex Eala economic phenomenon. I will show you exactly why her first-round match is suddenly vastly more important than a championship final to so many people. We are talking about a tectonic shift in how professional tennis operates. You see, the fans are treating her arrival like the second coming of a global pop icon. People who have never watched a tennis match in their entire lives are suddenly opening their wallets and fighting fiercely over premium seats. This goes way beyond sports. This is a cultural invasion taking over a highly traditional European space. The establishment is completely shocked by the sheer volume of money flooding into the secondary market. But to understand why the very last remaining tickets on Viagogo are evaporating in an instant, we have to look at a secret much bigger than her forehands on the court. We have to understand the unique ecosystem that she has managed to completely disrupt in a matter of months. To truly grasp the absolute madness of this phenomenon, you first need to understand the environment. The Porsche Tennis Grand Prix is no ordinary tournament. It is a highly prestigious WTA 500 event running from April 13 to 19 inches, 2026. Historically, this is the ultimate playground for the European elite. The crowds here are usually very traditional. They sit quietly. They politely clap. They sip expensive champagne and enjoy a refined afternoon of high-class sports. It is an exclusive club built on decades of strict tradition and old money. But this week, everything has been completely turned upside down by a player who commands a viewership that easily eclipses established stars like Aryna Sabalenka. The reality of the situation is hitting the tournament organizers like a freight train. Secondary market prices have absolutely exploded. We actually saw early warning signs of this massive price surge during her incredibly impressive runs at Miami and Indian Wells earlier this season. Every single time she steps on the court, the fan demand completely shatters normal ticketing expectations. When she played in the United States earlier this year, the officials thought the crowd numbers were just a temporary fluke. They assumed it was just local fans looking for a fun day out in the sun, but the numbers kept climbing. The television ratings spiked every single time her name appeared on the broadcast schedule. Sponsors started making frantic phone calls to their marketing departments. They realized they were entirely missing out on the biggest demographic shift the sport had seen in years. And now, that same exact energy has crossed the Atlantic Ocean and landed right in the middle of Germany. Stuttgart is the absolute peak of this madness. Massive ticket platforms like Viagogo are reporting a total collapse in available supply. They literally have under 1% of tickets left for many of the sessions this week. Think about how insane that is. A regular tour event in Germany is sold out like the Super Bowl. People are refreshing the page for hours, hoping a single seat opens up. When a ticket does appear, it is snatched up in fractions of a second by desperate fans willing to pay absolutely anything. We are seeing baseline seats that normally sell for standard prices being flipped for thousands of dollars. It defies all conventional logic of tennis ticket sales. The organizers at the Porsche Arena are looking at their spreadsheets in total disbelief. She currently boasts online engagement rates and television numbers that frequently surpass the absolute biggest names in the entire sport. This is what industry insiders are quietly calling the Eala effect. It is a massive tidal wave of international fans completely altering the financial landscape of European tennis. The purchasing power of this new global fan base is so aggressive that local German fans are being entirely priced out of their own hometown event. This level of commercial gravity from a 20-year-old is something the tennis world has not witnessed in decades. The tour is totally unprepared for the sheer volume of web traffic and ticket requests flooding their corporate servers. You are witnessing a real-time revolution in the business of sports. The old guard is being replaced by a completely new kind of athletic superstar. If you are fascinated by how a single athlete can completely break a traditional economic system like this, you are definitely in the right place. Take a second to subscribe to the channel right now so you never miss out on these deep dives into the hidden business of tennis. Because the truth is, this black market ticket earthquake did not just happen completely out of nowhere. There is a very specific trigger that activated this massive bomb the exact second the first round schedule dropped. That trigger has a very specific name. The tournament organizers call it the Philippine Derby. When the officials randomly drew Alex Eala to face Leylah Fernandez, they had absolutely no idea what they had just done. They did not realize they had just pushed a massive red button to activate the most intensely loyal fan base on the entire planet. This first-round match is an absolute cultural earthquake. Leylah Fernandez has deep Filipino roots, and Alex Eala is the pure homegrown prodigy, carrying the weight of an entire nation on her shoulders. When you put these two women on the exact same tennis court, you are no longer just playing a regular sporting event. You are hosting a massive celebration of Southeast Asian pride right in the middle of Europe. The sheer scale of this cultural invasion is something the traditional tennis world was completely blind to. Just picture the scene at the Porsche Village this week. This is usually a quiet VIP area where wealthy sponsors look at expensive sports cars. But right now, it looks like a chaotic rock concert. The demand for the signature of Alex Eala is completely breaking the system. Her autograph is officially the single most sought-after item at the entire venue. The local German fans are standing there watching in total confusion as thousands of passionate supporters completely take over the grounds. These fans did not come here for the polite clapping and the expensive champagne. They came here to witness a piece of history. This brings us to a massive realization. This is not about a simple tennis match anymore. We are watching a powerful cultural awakening crashing directly into a very old European establishment. The energy is raw, and it is completely undeniable. You have people flying in from across the globe just to catch a glimpse of this 20-year-old girl practicing on a side court. The merchandise stands are completely sold out of anything even remotely connected to her. Security guards are working overtime just to manage the sheer volume of people trying to get near her. This is the raw power of a community that finally sees one of their own dominating on the global stage. Let us dive deeper into the reality of what happens when cultural pride meets sports economics. The traditional tennis establishment always relies on familiar names to sell their premium seats. They rely on the established veterans and the Grand Slam winners to fill the stadiums on a Tuesday afternoon. But the arrival of Alex Eala proves that the old formula is completely broken. The European fans who usually buy these tickets are suddenly finding themselves competing against a massive global network of supporters. These new fans are highly coordinated, and they are willing to spend massive amounts of money to support their national hero. They are organizing watch parties across different time zones, and they are flooding the social media pages of the tournament with endless comments. The sheer digital footprint of this single first-round match is larger than most championship finals. When you look at the raw emotion in the stands, you can literally feel the tension building. Every single time she hits a forehand, the crowd erupts like it is match point at a Grand Slam final. The organizers are absolutely terrified and thrilled at the exact same time. They have never seen a first-round match generate this level of pure hysteria. The traditional hierarchy of the sport is being completely bulldozed by the sheer force of this cultural wave. Almost everyone looking at this situation assumes this crazy derby match is the one and only reason the ticket prices are exploding. They look at the massive Filipino community and they think the mystery is completely solved. They think it is just a temporary spike driven by local patriotism. But the real truth is actually much darker and far more calculated. This passionate fan base is just the absolute tip of a massive commercial iceberg. There is a terrifying financial strategy operating completely out of sight. This is the absolute biggest secret that tournament directors are nervously whispering to each other behind closed doors right now. Alex Eala does not need a cultural derby to sell tickets. She does not need a special rivalry to crash the box office. The shocking reality is that the underlying engagement numbers of Alex Eala are completely destroying the established Grand Slam champions. We are talking about the kind of data that makes television executives completely lose their minds. From her incredible momentum at Indian Wells all the way to Miami, she has perfectly engineered a massive rating machine. You really have to change the way you look at her completely. She is not just a popular player who sells some retail tickets at the gate. Alex Eala is a walking television rights goldmine. She is single-handedly dragging an entirely new demographic of Asian viewers and Gen Z fans into a sport that desperately needs young blood. The traditional tennis audience is aging rapidly, but every time Alex steps onto the court, the viewership demographics completely flip upside down. This is exactly where the entire system starts to break. The massive global broadcasting networks are currently in a state of absolute panic. They are frantically trying to adjust their rigid television schedules to capture her massive online audience. The executives in New York and London are staring at their live viewership dashboards in total disbelief. The engagement metrics are spiking so hard that the algorithms are struggling to keep up with the sheer volume of traffic. They are desperately trying to shift her matches to primetime slots because they finally understand the absolute magnitude of her commercial gravity. I am genuinely curious what you think about this massive shift in power. Did you actually realize that a 20-year-old player was generating higher television ratings than the current world number one, or did this totally catch you by surprise? Let me know your honest thoughts down in the comments, because this is a debate that is tearing the tennis community apart right now. Think about the incredible power dynamics shifting right before our eyes. The major tennis tournaments are no longer dictating the terms. The pure digital gravity of Alex Eala is forcing billion-dollar networks to completely rewrite their broadcasting rules. She is bringing a level of digital engagement that the sport of tennis has literally never seen before. When she plays a simple baseline rally, the highlight clips generate millions of views across social media platforms within minutes. The sponsors are noticing this massive discrepancy. They are seeing that their logos get infinitely more screen time when they are placed behind Alex Eala than when they are placed behind the traditional top 10 seeds. This is the real aha moment of the entire situation. The exploding ticket prices in Germany are just a tiny local symptom of a massive global disease. The demand is not just coming from people who want to sit in a stadium. The demand is coming from a global commercial ecosystem that has finally recognized the ultimate cash cow. She is redefining what it actually means to be a valuable asset in the modern era of professional sports. The old metrics of success were all about holding a shiny trophy at the end of the week. The new metric of success is the ability to command the attention of the entire internet. If you still think these claims are just exaggerated media hype designed to get clicks, you are in for a massive shock. Let me show you the cold, hard evidence of what is actually happening in the ruthless world of sports distribution right this very second. Numbers never lie. The absolute exhaustion of ticket inventory on massive platforms like Viagogo and the Wild Price, storm that started all the way back at Indian Wells, provide the clearest evidence possible. We are not just guessing about her commercial power anymore. The data is entirely conclusive, and it is sending massive shockwaves through the entire sports business world. Let us look closely at exactly what happened just a few weeks ago during the American swing. When Alex Eala stepped onto the hard courts at Indian Wells earlier this season, the local ticket market experienced an immediate and massive disruption. Prices for the specific days she was scheduled to play suddenly surged to unbelievable levels. People initially thought it was a computer glitch or a temporary error in the dynamic pricing algorithm, but the demand was completely real. Her dedicated fans were buying up blocks of premium seats at prices that usually only happen during the semi-final rounds of major tournaments. The exact same pattern repeated itself during her impressive run in Miami shortly after. Now, fast forward to right now in Germany. The prestigious Porsche Tennis Grand Prix is experiencing an absolute supply collapse. If you log onto the secondary market platform Viagogo right this second, you will see a terrifying statistic. Many of the tournament sessions featuring Alex Eala currently have under 1% of their total tickets remaining. Under 1% is a level of scarcity you usually only see for massive stadium concerts featuring global pop icons. Tennis tournaments simply do not sell out this aggressively for early round matches on a weekday. The local German fans are desperately scrambling to find any available seat, but they are getting outbid by international buyers at every single turn. The financial gravity she brings is completely overwhelming the local economy. But the true madness goes far beyond just the digital ticket queues and the online resale markets. You have to look at what is physically happening on the ground to truly understand the scale of this cultural phenomenon. The Porsche Village is the luxury hospitality area of the tournament, where wealthy sponsors usually relax in a very calm environment. Right now, it is entirely overrun by pure fan hysteria. Reports from the ground confirm that the physical signature of Alex Eala is officially the most highly sought-after item in the entire complex. The demand for her autograph completely eclipses the traditional sponsor activations and the expensive car displays. Fans are waiting in line for hours just to get a brief glimpse of this 20-year-old sensation. They are treating her presence like a massive historic event that demands their absolute attention. This brings us to a massive insider secret that nobody is talking about on mainstream sports television. Because of this undeniable ticket selling power, the entire financial structure of the tour is about to change forever. Going forward, tournament directors are going to have to pay absolutely massive appearance fees just to convince her to show up to their events. She has thoroughly proven that her simple presence on a player list guarantees a total sellout and a massive spike in global television ratings. The tournaments need her massive digital footprint far more than she actually needs their ranking points. She holds the ultimate leverage in every single contract negotiation moving forward into the next season. With all of this terrifying data laid out in front of us, the question is no longer whether Alex Eala will make it far in the tournament. The question is something much more profound for the entire era of modern professional sports. Whatever happens in Stuttgart this week is certainly not going to stay in Germany. Alex Eala is proving to the entire world that the real power in professional tennis is violently shifting away from the traditional strongholds. She is officially the absolute hottest ticket in the sport because she is dragging an entirely new economy and a vibrant new culture directly into a highly traditional space. The old established rules simply do not apply to her anymore. She has successfully bypassed the traditional media gatekeepers and built a global empire based entirely on raw digital engagement and deep cultural pride. The tour executives can no longer ignore the massive tidal wave of Asian fans she brings to the table every single time she serves a tennis ball. When she walks onto the clay court to face Leylah Fernandez for this highly anticipated first-round match, we are all going to witness an incredible piece of history. This is not merely a battle of forehands and backhands between two talented athletes. This match is a definitive statement about the future commercial landscape of female sports. Leylah Fernandez brings her own massive international fanbase and incredible shot-making talent to the court, making this Philippine Derby an explosive and unpredictable event. The winner of this clash does not just advance to the second round of the tournament. The winner officially claims the commercial crown and the undivided attention of the next generation of global tennis fans. The sheer intensity of this specific rivalry cannot be overstated. You have two incredible athletes connected by a shared heritage, but fighting for completely different paths to greatness. The atmosphere in the stadium is going to be incredibly dense, with emotion and national pride. Every single point is going to feel like a massive championship point. The ticket prices are fully justified when you realize the sheer level of historical importance attached to this specific moment in time. The psychological pressure resting on this 20-year-old is absolutely astronomical right now. She is carrying the intense economic weight of a massive European tournament and the fierce hopes of an entire nation directly on her shoulders. The entire sporting world is watching very closely to see if she can maintain her tactical composure under this blinding spotlight. Her ability to tune out the roaring crowd and focus on her game plan will ultimately decide her fate. This incredible match between Alex and Leylah is going to dictate exactly who holds the commercial throne for the next decade. Do you think Alex Eala has the mental strength to survive this insane pressure and secure the victory against such a tough opponent? Let me know your exact predictions down in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel right now, so you do not miss my deep dive tactical breakdown the second this historic match ends. I will see you next time.